Hello, everyone. This is Coca Coholic coming back after the weekend with a tournament report. I ended up playing I ended up having four duels over the tournament. I did not finish very well. It was 0-4. My worst showing actually yet, and I've done better at that tournament with things like counter varies. And I'm not even talking like no mainboard Hyperion, no Christia. I'm talking like Bountiful Artemis doing his bitch and job. So. Anyway, it's not a deck that I've really had a lot of experience with. I wanted to give it a whirl, and I wasn't really too much into it. I thought it was worth going after, giving it a go, and the cards are relatively cheap over here, and I had most of the deck already. I think I needed, like, the Pipers, I had to buy a third Veiler. Most of the other cards were, like, under $1. So, except for the Pipers. I know you... What are you even paying for Pipers back in TCG, the secrets? That must be ridiculous. They're $3 here for supers, so happy with OCG prices. Okay, the first match, I played against my buddy. He goes by Q in the tournament. He was playing wind-ups. He started really strong. First one with wind-up Shark and Magician. I made a first turn play. He used Solemn Judgment. Next turn, after I went down to 23 health, or 2300, after the first round of attacks, and I had one opportunity, and he had Solemn Warning, so I hit the top of my deck, surrendered to him. Second game, he attacked me early. I dropped the big beefy Trag, dropped down a sided Deck Devastation Virus, and he Mysticaled into it. I chained it and literally dumped his whole hand. I hit 5 targets. It was just like, it was game after that. That's pretty much it. Second one, he started again, Magician Shark, got a big swarm up. I had Dark Hole for an answer, which was nice. And ultimately, it was a slow whittle down until I was holding on a Reaper. He had an opportunity to sink into a 5, used an effect to gain some more advantage, and then put on a Gaianite on top of that, a Thunder Charger, and pierced me to death. So that one I lost in 3. The next match was against Girige Machinas. So, again, this was one where there was like 8 or 9 battle phases, slow whittling down of damage, which I eventually lost. The second game, MVP goes to DD Crow. He hit 2 Machina Fortresses during play, which was awesome, and eventually got down to my Chaos Sorcerer on his top deck with basically no Machina Fortresses left to use. So that was good for me. The third game, he ended up, I had a decent field. He got a Dark Hole play off, which I played into a Wizel, which he then used Solemn Warning on, and then my next turn I played Monster Reborn to come back, and he had another Solemn Warning, so there was that. Third game was against my other buddy. He was playing Heroes. It was not Bubble Beat, but it was just Heroes. So main board, Super Polymerization, Miracle Fusions. It looks like I just got handed. I dealt 1,000 damage. Nothing good there. Second, I sided in what I thought would be some useful cards. And I had him down to a top deck. I had my field presence was a Zenmaines and a Wizel, which I thought was really good. I mean, I can't be destroyed. And I mean, he's on a top deck, so he's got nothing to spark. He did have some targets for Miracle Fusion, but with Wizel, I can just be like negate and, do my own business. However, he's on the top deck, and he top decks Cyber Dragon. And you can figure out what happened after that. So, I lost that one in 2. And the final game I played was against Gusto Psychics. They're getting I don't even want to say they're getting popular here. That's the first one I've ever played against, which ultimately sucked for me. I'm unfamiliar with the Gustos. Some of their effects, I know some of the basic monsters, but the synchro monsters I'm unfamiliar with. Due to a language barrier problem that we had in him explaining the effect of one of the synchro monsters to me, I made a play based on what I understood to be what the effect of the monster was, and which ultimately, had it not been, I guess, it was the one where if you do battle damage, your opponent receives all battle damage, and Gusto monsters can't die by battle or something. Anyway, that was ultimately what I found it out to be when I came back home, and I looked up the card myself. But his explanation was very difficult for me to understand. But story short, I made BLS, an Armory Arm, equipped it, went for the double strike win, and because his explanation wasn't very good, I lost that game. Second one, I made a lot of side-ins, a lot of traps, got rid of a lot of good stuff, changed his appearance, made a big play. And ultimately, I dropped Dad, and he had no answers, and then Dad just stood there undefeated. And the last one, I made a Black Rose play. He had one back row and 3 frontline monsters. None of my monsters currently could have gotten over him. I made a play for Black Rose, and he had a Starlight Road. So, I mean, you're not always able to win, and you know, you learn from your mistakes, and it's great. I keep these notes so I know what kind of cards that my opponents are typically playing, what kind of decks I'm seeing more often, and I'll be able to make better Dustside deck choices. I'm also thinking about changing my main deck. I'm probably going to be going into Laval's. So if I'm able to build the deck in the next couple of weeks, I'll probably put up another deck profile on that one. And so far, I have one, and I'm playing it right now with a bunch of proxies. These are all like computer print-offs, as I don't own basically any of the deck. A lot of the cards over here, some of them are a little bit expensive, but mostly because the ones that I'm typically seeing are dual terminal. But that being said, I'll see what I can get. I've got a couple friends digging up some cards that they have at home to kind of help me out with this whole thing. So anyway, but the MVPs for this side deck, ones that I will definitely be considering in the decks that I'm going to be making in the future, definitely Deck Devastation Virus. When I played it, it was devastating. It earns its name. And the other one is DD Crow. Again, a lot of the meta, especially if you're playing a deck where you can't main board or even side very easily into Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos, a hand trap like that is really effective. I'm still not seeing anybody play, what do they call that in English? Debunk. Debunk. They're not playing a lot of debunks, so hand traps are still able to do their own shenanigans, and more or less there's nothing that anyone's playing that stops it. So that's pretty effective. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update on how the tournament went. Once again, if you have any questions about the OCG, what kind of decks are being played, otherwise, if there's any feature matches that you would like to see, such and such versus such and such, or if you wanted to see a deck profile of some of my buddies, I've talked to them this past weekend about the likelihood of me taking videos of their decks to post up on my channel, and some of them seem somewhat interested. So if you have anything that you would like to see, I can probably make that happen. So if you can, please put your comments in the section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, good luck to your tournaments this weekend, and let me know how you're doing. All right, Coca-Coholic signing out.